this is like fun with other, running friends. So I'm like, I'm going to do it because I knew it would put me in a good mood. You are my BRF.
What's happening, Eric?
There for your victory lap.
Yeah.
Whoa!
How did that happen?
How did you do that?
And all of a sudden I go to zip it up and I'm like, why is the zipper in the front right now? 0 out of 10 on the recommendations scale.
I am literally crying from laughter and from so much love. Oh my God.
It's like I see off for your cornhole.
And he just smashed Arnie like that and said, you stay out of this, Arnie. And I thought,
I don't run to stay sober. I get to run because I am.
And there she was, a halo over her head.
No, it's not freaking true. Okay.
And he steps to the side and just gestures. Here's the tinkle pot.
I don't need to tinkle.
What's up, everybody? And welcome to episode 163 of the On the Runs podcast. We are 1 week and 1 day after the Boston Marathon, but we still have those high Boston vibes, and we're so excited to welcome some of our favorite pod fam who ran in the Boston Marathon. But first, before I get to them, I need to say hello to my amazing, kick-ass rock star of a co-host who are going to try to get in the Boston Marathon next year. 6-star Erica, what's up?
I fucking love it, dude. This is like always the best intros. But I am still riding high. I didn't even run the Boston Marathon, but we had so much fun out there cheering at mile 19.2 to be exact. We had so much fun. And you guys, we have the best freaking episode for you guys today. Can I please introduce our wonderful guest that we have with us?
Absolutely. You take over. You run this show.
Yeah. I'm not really good at this, but I'm going to do it anyways. So to my left, I am looking at the beautiful purple-haired beauty, Jess Lindemann, runner Jess on Instagram. Welcome, Jess. We're so happy to have you back.
I'm so glad to be back. Thanks for having me.
And to my right is the iconic Forrest Gump himself.
Famous.
The bearded runner, Dan Liszczak.
Hello.
I mean, I am among greatness. We are among greatness, Eric. What are we even doing here? We should just leave and let them have the show.
I didn't think it was going to blow up like this. A couple weeks ago, let's get your real name. Are we even going to call you by your real name? But you reached out to me.
But
yeah, he's Beard. The bearded runner on Instagram reached out to me like, God, Dan, it had to be over a month ago. You had told me about your idea and you wanted to do the skit. And I'm like, cool, this would be a lot of fun. Well, the skit has done really well on Instagram. I wouldn't say viral, but it's done like amazing for both of us. But you've been everywhere, and we'll get into that. Like, or do we just do it now before we get to the week? But sorry, Jess. Like, we're in the presence of a famous celebrity now.
Greatness. Yes.
Yeah. How are you, Forrest? How are you?
I'm good. I'm still wearing this. I just finished my run, so I kept going after the marathon. So I just kept running. I went around the country and I came back, so I'm home.
Have you showered?
Nope, it's still pretty ripe. Still pretty ripe.
We were talking earlier, and I was like, should we be glad that we're doing this virtually so we don't have to sit next to him? But hey, you earned every sweat mark, every saltiness on your because you did the work, my friend. That was commitment.
That's the salt sweat from when you ran, I'm guessing, on top of the hat.
Oh no, this is about 2.5 years of this was ran in the first Boston that I did.
Okay.
In New York City Marathon, and then all my other 5Ks
that
have.
So this is some miles.
Yeah, this has probably seen 1,500 miles.
You can't ever wash it now. Ever. Never.
No.
Probably, yeah. Should you wash the clothes? Should you wash
I don't think I will.
Should you?
We're talking Axe body spray.
Yeah.
So many questions. Is this like a one-off and you're going to, or maybe you don't want to announce it, but are you going to like hang the outfit like a hockey player with his jersey on the wall? Or are you going to save this? And is it going to come out again one day?
It might come out, but I think these are going to have to go. And I'm going to have to save these, but yeah, they're, these were.
That was a huge
These are the
topic
famous
of
ones.
conversation. People
Yeah.
were like, how did you actually run in those? Because those are the shoes that Forrest Gump wears in the movie. So tell us a little bit about them. Like where did you find them? And how comfortable were they?
Nike. So they had a release in 2024, and I just said, well, hell, I'm going to post to Nike, but you should get me a pair.
Mhm.
Well, of course, they never did, so that's fine. And I was going to custom make them because you could, but then I'm like, well, people are going to look at my feet and they're just going to see Nike and they're going to recognize it. So I just bought them. And then I said, well, let me get darn tough socks, or let me get socks that are like the ones he wore. And of course, darn tough had the same exact one. So I got darn tough socks. And then I got super feet inserts, which absolutely saved my feet. So they were in there. And yeah, comfort wise, they were good for the first 10 to 15 miles. And then after that, it was just deal with it. But
you came that far, you couldn't give up.
No, I felt a little rubbing on the right inside of my big toe area. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a blood blister. And I had nothing. No blisters, no lost toenails, no nothing. All perfect.
That is a win. That is
all
definitely
perfect.
That is definitely a win.
Did you do any like practice runs before? Nothing new on race day type of thing with the shoes or the entire Zero.
Zero.
You're a man after my own heart because
Nothing.
I will do new shit on race day all the time.
No.
I'll find out the hard way afterwards, but hey, I'll try it.
Like I'll say that I'm not doing anything new, but then I end up doing something new.
Yeah.
It's not as easy to avoid it.
Now the beard is real, but the hair on top, that's a wig, right?
It is a wig. It's there
we
go. There's a
really
little wig tape. There is wig tape. So there is
that's
wig
pretty
tape.
That's smart. That's real
And
smart.
I ended up buying what are those things called? The bobby pins.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so Megan from the Bulldogs, I'm like, this is your mission. We're gonna put the wig tape here, put the wig on, and you're gonna secure the hell out of this with like 10 bobby pins. And it was on there until I got home. Excellent. And then when I ripped it off, the tape almost ripped my skin off, but it was secure. So it was good.
Wow, got to give you props for wearing that the entire time because it was hot. It was a warm day for you guys.
Oh my God.
I can only imagine just like how much you were sweating.
Yeah. Like
I mean, that's natural like sunblock right there. Because
it was perfect. Yeah.
It was perfect. I was burnt.
No.
I put on sunscreen, I swear, in the corrals, they had the sunscreen dispensers. I lathered it on. And then, like, right here, I don't know if you can tell, there's a faint line.
Oh, yeah, we see it.
Yeah, it's got makeup on. But the next day, my husband looked at me. He's like, what is on your forehead? I'm like, yeah, that's sunburn from my from my headband. And my back got it, too. It's, like, weird. It's, like, the right side. The left side got nothing.
You're not alone. So I was talking to our friend Rachel, and she was saying that like half of her body. Yeah. I want to say it's probably the right side of her body that got totally toasty. But hey, that's
running.
The nature of the beast.
Well, let's do a little comparison here. Let's do a little side by side because my kick-ass rock star of a co-host actually dressed up as Forrest Gump about 2 years ago for Halloween. Let's do a little side by side here. Who did it best?
Oh my gosh, that beard is amazing.
Now, Erica, is that real hair or is that fake?
You know what? It took me quite a while to grow that, and I just had to shave it immediately after this photo was taken. So I'll let you guys decide. But let me just tell you, this costume won me like a gift card to like a running store because I kept the beard on all night long. I was drinking beers. I would like pull it down just so I could take a sip, and then I put it right back. They're like, man, that's commitment. So now I'm like, oh, that's not commitment at all. No. No,
you got to grow it out. That's commitment.
Yep. So, I'm giving my vote to Dan. Beard, you win. 100%. Nothing compares.
Oh, the hair. I wish I could grow the hair out. I really tried to grow the hair, and then I was like, I'm thinning, and my barber was like, no, you got to just cut it. I'm like, damn it. All right. I guess I got to do a wig. Shit. Alrighty.
Hey, it's cooler
so
that way.
It worked.
It's cooler for your body because now
Yeah.
you don't have all that hair. So
Exactly.
you're fine. You did it the right way.
Dan, how would you rate Erica's outfit here? How'd she do?
On a scale from 0 to Party City, where does it rank?
Like a 7. You know, you're good.
I'll take a 7. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say a
shoes.
solid 7. Solid
Yeah.
7 for sure.
If you wanted the 10, I think you would have to draw some hair on the legs because Forrest had some hairy legs, right?
Yeah.
You know, you
probably
didn't
have,
go
like, 4
all
days
out,
worth
but
of
you
hair
went
on
out
that.
enough to win a prize.
Probably stubbly. I don't know.
Well, anyways,
I can't believe
that
you
was
brought
great.
that
We'll
up.
talk more about that. But hey, Jess Lindemann, welcome to the podcast. You're here too, by the way. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing great. I can finally walk again.
Yay!
There you go.
And my first day of work was back yesterday, so the kids got me up and running at school.
Oh boy.
That must have been a blast.
You guys go ahead. I'll meet you. We're fine.
I was talking to Dan's friend, Mike Scott, our friend, Michael Scott, and he was telling me, like, I still can't run or I still can't walk, but I could probably run. So I think, seen a lot of those videos of everyone trying to go downstairs or going downstairs backwards and being really sore. You all earned it very much. But if you guys remember, Jess, you're in the Baltimore area. So you flew into Boston, where Dan, he's a Boston guy. He's a Boston Bulldog. Let's get started with the entire Boston weekend. And we'll start with you, Jess, because you flew in on Saturday for the expo. Tell us about your day, your trip. Were you with kids, no kids? Who are some of your favorite people that you saw? Hint, hint.
All
It was
right,
awesome.
yeah, no, you guys are amazing. I'm so glad I finally got to meet you in person. This year we went without our kids, and it was like a whole different experience. But we flew in, and last year, where we were on the tarmac for like a few hours, I was like afraid that I wasn't going to make it to the expo the next day. I was kind of freaking out. But this year, everything was kind of smooth sailing, got to the airport, got on the plane. Everything was just like clicking. And I was like, this is probably a good sign that I'm going to have a good race. But yeah, we made it to the expo the same day and, stayed in town in Boston, stayed like a few blocks away from the finish line, which was amazing.
Splurged. Wow,
So
that's nice.
Look, my husband and I are coming up on 15-year wedding anniversary and almost 20 years together. So
Love
this
it.
was like our getaway in a way.
Earned it.
But it was so cool. As soon as I got out of the hotel, walking down the street to the expo, I ran into Wyatt Moss.
Which is so
And I was
amazing.
I was like, oh my God. I turned to my husband, Aaron. I was like, do you know who that is? He's like, no idea. And, he's like around a bunch of other people. And I was that awkward fangirly runner person, like me, I have to go say hi. And, I went up and introduced myself and, I told them about you guys and how I heard about him from you all. And he's like, tell him I said hi. I was like, I will.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But, got my packet, did some walking around. And then later on that evening, I, had dinner with you guys. And it was so amazing to meet you all in person and definitely downed most of that pizza by myself. The pizza and beer, top notch.
Yep.
But,
Gotta carb up, you guys. Absolutely.
You really do. And that really hit the spot too after a day of travel for sure.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I was so excited to get to meet you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I think the only negative was you had to wait in line.
Not very long. Like we Ubered over because we didn't know how far the walk was from our place to the Sam Adams ale house. And we only waited outside for 5 minutes and I'm like texting Eric, I'm like, we're outside, they're making us wait. And I was like starving. And luckily we got in easy, no problem. And then I met Ali G and I met Tara Pterodactyl, all these people that I hear about on the pod. And it was so lovely to meet you guys. Like I had a blast.
That was an awesome time. I think we picked the right spot. We had a sweet table. The table was huge, and we could all hear and see each other and talk. And just the food was good. The beer was great. The people were amazing. Jared Ewing was there. You said earlier, Lindsay was there. Allie G brought her friends. You brought your husband. He's amazing. So I'm so happy you did
He's a
that.
rock star supporter. That's for sure.
Yeah,
my number one
absolutely.
fan.
Love it. He's the best. He was so cool, and he just like fit right in. So it was perfect. Everybody there felt like they were meant to be there. It was like we were meant to meet everyone.
Got
the
to
only
meet
person
Jared.
missing we're sad about is Dan. But Dan,
I know I didn't get to meet Dan in person. It's okay. There's going to be other times for sure.
But Dan, we got to meet you early in the morning. You ran the 5K. Tell us about your Saturday in Boston.
So to start off, I picked up my friends Jess and Dita, if you remember Dita.
Yes.
Because we're all doing the medley together, so we wanted to pick up all the medals this year. So we just drove in the city, and it was a perfect day. Walked over to the medley area, ran our 5K. We just wanted to have fun. It was just our shakeout run. There was nothing too extravagant about it, but it was, again, the most perfect morning for a 5K. And then as soon as we crossed the finish line and walked over, met up with Michael Scott. And actually Bethany, she was doing her bingo cards.
Oh, Bethany Perry. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I saw her. She saw me. I'm like, bingo. And then, of course, she saw a couple other people, Michael Scott too. And then that's when Eric was kind of right there. And then Pterodactyl and Erica showed up, and we were just all kind of there having fun. So that was a blast. And then we just kind of explored the different pop-ups. We picked up our bib first, Dita and I, and then we just went to all the different pop-ups at the different brand houses there, which to me, honestly, was a lot more fun than the expo. The expo was just this huge line, just like it was just constantly. I was like, it took at least 2 miles to get inside.
Oof. Yeah, for sure.
And then we just did the pop-ups, and it was just a blast. So it was very simple day.
Now, I missed the expo. I didn't go in, so
we were told not to.
Yeah,
people were like, it's not worth your time.
It was the line, and I was told it was underwhelming, and just you wouldn't really enjoy staying outside because it was nice out and seeing the pop-ups and doing all those things, going to the shows. I did want to go in. I wanted to at least see it, but from what I heard, there was a lot less there, I guess, vendor-wise than there has been in the past. Jess, did you have that same experience?
Yeah, I feel like last year there were a lot more vendors last year than this year. Last year I was able to get like some stickers and some patches because I do collect patches and the enamel pins. And this year I didn't find as many like vendors inside the convention center. So I feel I'm with you, Dan. I was like more on the outside vendors for sure. Yeah.
And if it rains, it would suck to go to the pop-ups because then you're stuck outside. So it's kind of like we lucked out with the weather this weekend to get that opportunity.
Absolutely gorgeous weather for everything.
Dan, how'd the 5K go for you? You were not dressed up as Forrest because this at that point Saturday was a secret.
He had his signature jorts.
My jorts. I had my jorts. I had my hoochie daddy jorts going. So
your shorts were shorter than my shorts.
1 inch split, baby.
Dan, do you remember like one of the first things I said to you, because this was the first time I met everyone. It was the first time I met Jess, you, Michael Scott.
It was the first time we got Eric out of the house.
Allie G. Have some fun. Everyone I met, it was the first time with the exception of Pterodactyl. I met Letty, I met Jared, all for everybody at our table was the first time. That's so cool. But do you remember one of the first things I said to you, Dan, when you walked over?
Oh, wow. You're actually taller than I thought you were.
You're really tall from what I thought. However, I thought about this a little bit. I think I know why I thought you were so tall. Because you had so much leg and not a lot of shorts.
That is true.
Yes. You had a lot of leg, but you are tall, and so was Michael Scott. And I kind of felt cool because I'm 6 feet, and you guys both look like 6'1", 6'2". So I was like, I'm not looking down. I love this.
Oh, that's awesome.
My first reaction, yeah. So all right, let's move on to Sunday. Erica and I go home. Sunday's Easter. Jess, what did you and your husband do around Boston on Easter Sunday?
Well, on Easter Sunday, I got to sleep in.
Ooh.
I already, before I left, I prepared the boys' Easter baskets. That way, my parents were staying at my house. That way they could wake up on Easter and have their baskets. But I did a shakeout run with the cool down. I did the cool down shakeout run, like the brand clothing. And that's where I got to meet the majority of people through Instagram. So like people like Bethany Perry, Chelsea Runs, my friend Paisley from Texas. I finally got to meet her and a few other people. It was so exciting. And I got to do this with one of my best running friends. Shout out to Corinne.
Yeah.
So I ran with her last year, but this year was a little bit different, but we'll get into that. But I met meeting people from social media that you've been friends with for a few years now is like one of the coolest experiences, because it's like you get there and you already know each other, and it's just like you think about the moment when you meet someone in person, and it's like, yeah, this is how, I mean, this is, it feels right, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we did the shakeout run. That was like maybe around 10. And then we just had the rest of the day to ourselves. We walked down Newberry, we walked around Boston Common, just familiarizing ourselves with the area. Oh, yep. So that's, yeah, Athletes Village. That's one of my best running friends, Corinne. And the girl in the back, we were kind of taking her around. That's Corinne's friend's daughter. So that was her first Boston.
And how did you know Corinne?
So Corinne and I have been running together for the past few years. We met through an online, like she runs this town community. It's like a group, Facebook group for community runners. And usually you go on there and you do like invites, like, hey, I'm running on this trail at this time. Anybody else want to join? We'll be running at this pace. So Corinne and I kind of matched up together because we kind of run the same pace. And then we also have another friend named Lizzie. She's my other bestie that I run every weekend with. But hopefully next year, the three of us will be running Boston together. But yeah, it was nice to have Corinne there too. But yeah, I just kind of Sunday, Aaron and I just walked around Boston together and just enjoying each other's company. I know, isn't that amazing?
I
love it.
What's the entire shirt say because it's cut off?
Sarah Marie Run Company.
Yes,
she is awesome.
Sarah Marie Running Company. That tank top, it's like a nod to Catherine Switzer. So it said, I believe, I can't think of off the top of my head, it says, run like a 1960s man thinks your uterus is going to fall out. It's like one of my favorites.
That would
make a 1960s man think your uterus was going to fall out. I got so
Wyatt.
There's Wyatt. Yep.
So
there's the man with the mustache
that Eric showed us. You were at Athletes Village, and that was probably the longest line of porta potties I have ever seen in my life. There looked like there was like 50 of them just in that one line.
I have to say, there are a lot of porta potties that people don't take advantage of.
Look at that.
Like,
beautiful.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's not even the main part of the Athletes Village. That's like
no shit.
The other side. Yeah. So last year when we entered, it was like this grassy area with this huge canopy and this line of porta potties. I think they opened it up to behind the school or next to the school.
There's us.
Yeah. And then Hallie and Tara. But yeah, people don't take advantage of all of the porta potties that are there. They go to the closest ones. So there's Chelsea and Corinne.
Awesome.
And there's Bethany. You have to get Bethany on the pod.
I love her
Bethany,
Instagram, and
drop
also,
us a line.
And also, I watched the bingo card thing, and I was cracking up. So I was like, that is such a smart thing to do. Like, try to maximize who you see in Boston. Do whatever you can.
We've been friends together for years. There's Curtis. Y'all know Curtis.
How awesome.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people wearing that Bank of America Chicago T-shirt.
That was last year's?
That was had to be. I saw a lot of people wearing that.
Can't wait to get one this year.
I know. So exciting.
What is all right, right now. We'll do it right now. What is Bethany's Instagram handle?
Perry Artsy. There it is. Yep.
Oh, guess what? She just started following us. I'm going to hit that follow back button. All right, Bethany, welcome to the pod fam. Drop us a line or I'll drop you one. All right, that's awesome. So you had a lot of fun. You met so many cool people from Instagram that you haven't met. Like you must have met. It was like meeting people for the first time galore because you met us and Allie and Pterodactyl and all these people the next day.
Yeah. And so I think the thing that, that's another thing when you have your kids with you, it is so special to have them there, especially on race day, see you crossing the finish and seeing you accomplish something that, might inspire them to even try to do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it was also like nice because we could go and I could actually meet people. And last year I didn't really get a chance to do that because I was kind of like, okay, we got to feed them, got to, they're tired, got to go take
You were
a
more on
break.
your schedule
Kind of
this year than their
overstimulating
schedule.
It is very overstimulating for kids to be there. And,
I can
this
attest
year,
to that. I wasn't even running and I was like, there's so many people. Oh
there's
my God,
so
it's
many
loud.
people
like,
and it's so loud. But yeah,
Jess,
it was nice
how did you
to
know
have
that was my
time.
next question, by the way? I was going to ask you to compare last year and this year's experience, kids, no kids.
Yeah. As much as I love my boys and I love them being there and present, I know that they wouldn't want to keep walking all day. Like I could walk all day. Hours. Like that's what I do. I'm always on my feet. But it is very overstimulating, overwhelming for kids. So, and kudos to the parents that have small children that brought them to Boston. They're freaking rock stars, I have to tell you. But yeah, it was very different this year and, actually going and getting to meet people that I've always wanted to meet in person. So very special.
Now, have you made a decision on next year? Kids, no kids?
Next year it'll probably be my two best friends.
Oh, girls trip.
Girls trip, yeah.
All right. Hey, let's talk about one more thing about you, Jess, real quick here. Your Instagram is amazing. Like every day you have a great reel, you put it up. I'm sure you do a lot of thinking in advance.
I cracked up at the one you just did, by the way, with the Rock and you had Jack Black. I'm like, I am the Jack Black.
I am the Jack Black.
Jumping around.
I saw that and I was like, I gotta remix that because that's freaking amazing. But the reel is pretty much celebrities kind of like posing for pictures, and then at the top it's like, there are two kinds of runners. It's like runners that smile and wave nicely, and then there's like the Jack Black who's like jumping and just extravagant and like in your face, and yeah.
Well, there's one
Black.
There's one I want to talk about because I think it was awesome. And you got your husband to do this. And sometimes it's hard for a wife to get a husband to do a reel like this. But
yeah.
Let's play this one here. This was great.
And for the lady, perhaps a salad?
Perhaps not. I'll have the steak smothered in onions, a rack of ribs, pasta with extra garlic.
That was great. I saw that one after we just met your husband, and it seemed like you did that. He was perfect with his lines, by the way. So, Aaron, amazing job.
Well done.
He's an Instagram star in the making, but yeah. Do you do a lot of thinking ahead of time, like what you're going to do for these reels around the Boston Marathon and everything?
Like sometimes I'll hear like an audio. I'm like, I could do something with that. And then I remember saving that. And I'm like, we were eating dinner and the place that we were at wasn't crowded. It wasn't overwhelming. It was like nice. And we were kind of like tucked away in the corner. And I said, "Hun, will you please do this with me? Please. It is so appropriate." And so we heard it a few times and he timed it out like perfectly the first time, which was I got to get him to do more. And then, you know, I started doing it and a few people were looking over and we ended it. And he's like, they saw us. I'm like, it's okay. It's fine, you know? But yeah, I got to get him to do some more.
He's a natural.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
And it would be fun to see if someone was recording you like influencers
Oh my
in the
gosh.
wild from the background.
Yeah.
Let him have fun. Come on.
Hey,
yeah, I mean,
you're having fun.
I'm not twerking on the street while someone's recording me or anything. We're just in the back doing a goofy TikTok.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
But they're fun. They're fun.
Great.
So.
Now, hey, TikTok or Instagram? Like, is your TikTok big? I don't even have it on my phone. Is that like you mentioned TikTok, so I'm guessing you do that a lot too.
I do, but I'm not. I'd say I connect more with people through Instagram than TikTok. Like I am a part of like the Run Talk community, but I feel like I have known people longer on Instagram, so because that's kind of been around longer. But yeah, I mean, it's not about how many people follow me. It's about who I can inspire and connect with, pretty much. But
that's the best reason to do it.
Yeah,
I love your Instagram. That's how we found you, and that's why we love you. So
thanks.
Let's go race day. Now, from what we know one person who likes to dress up a lot, and she does a ton of makeup and glitter and like. What else does she put on, Eric? Just these amazing costumes. I'm talking about Yuki. And Yuki tells us how she plans these out so far in advance. So, Dan, you plan this out so far in advance. But then the night before, she has it all ready. She wakes up super early, does everything. Dan, I want to know what your Marathon Monday morning was like getting ready to go.
It was a perfect 5 a.m. wake-up call. The sun was shining. I had the perfect cup of coffee. Perfect peanut.
Singing.
Yeah, it was. It was literally the most perfect day. And I'm like, oh, I get to wear this today. This is going to be fucking awesome. And I was going to get picked up by my friends and I'll get to that in a second. But no, it was just a perfect morning. And, you know, everything fit great. I don't know. It was just perfect. I keep saying that.
Did the outfit take a while for you to put on, like the wig to get it right?
No, because the wig was gonna be was done at Athletes Village, so I didn't care. So it was just like this. It was all loose.
You just had hair in a bag.
No, I put it on. Well, in the car,
okay.
yeah.
Because I was like, oh my god, you show up with like your clear bag and it's full of hair. Like I can imagine people like checking you in and be like, oh my god, what is?
What's that guy carrying?
I know.
I need you to step aside.
Before Marathon Monday, you weren't telling a lot of people. Like you told me before you asked us to do that skit.
I probably took like 10 people max, and they all kept it close. So I've been holding this since September, October. I was really like, I couldn't tell anybody, and it was like, oh, this sucks. This sucks.
Did a good job. But you posted the night before.
Yeah.
What was the reaction that night before leading into the Marathon Monday morning when you're showing up in the Athletes Village now?
People are like, really? You're going to wear that? I'm like, yep, I am. Like, did you train in the shoes? I'm like, nope, just going to wing it. I'm just going to run in them. I'm fine. I got inserts. I got socks. They're like, yeah, but those are Cortezes. I'm like, yeah, they're 1970s technology running shoes. They are running shoes. So
there you go.
Okay, we'll find out. But when I actually just got like to the common and the public garden, and everyone was just laughing their asses off. They're like, oh my god, look who it is. It's Forrest Gump. They couldn't stop laughing. They were like, snap, 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 snap. Boston PD was like, this is awesome. I'm like, let's take a selfie together. Everybody's heads were turning. I can just turn around and I can just see them in the background, like just doing that. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is exactly what I wanted.
Charging like, hey, $5 for a picture, you guys. I'll pose with you.
Yeah, next entry fee.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it was getting the attention. I mean, I wanted it to get the attention, just for fun. I wanted to have people get a good laugh, a good smile, and it was working. So that was the goal. And I wanted to have fun. I mean, it took me 3 years to get to this point. So I needed the costume. I needed it to,
Now you ran with a friend, right?
Yeah. Jess.
Was that the plan going in? Like she's going to run with no. Okay. So that just happened. You didn't like have a camera person or a content person running with you to get.
No, I didn't have no, I had nobody. I crossed the start line and 0.1 miles in, I hear, Dan. I turn out, it's my friend Jess, and I'm like, this is awesome. This is good.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you want to run this together? She's like, yep, let's do it. So we just ran the whole marathon together.
Awesome.
At one point, we got separated for like, I don't know, 0.2 miles at like mile 23 or so. And then she just ran up and caught up to me, and we just ran the whole marathon together, which was awesome because I knew I was going to stop and all that. And she didn't care. She just wanted to have fun. I was like, okay, deal. We're
How
sticking
could she
together.
not when she was sticking to you? Because you were really like the life of the party out there.
I told her she's my manager. I told everybody she's my manager. She's my hype
great
woman.
job.
Yeah, she did.
She was so she made that video even more epic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Really did.
I almost forgot to text you guys. So do you know Alicia, Hype on the Hill? She has all the costumes every Saturday for, I think it was, yeah. So she would,
Oh, wait. Oh, during your training run.
yes, every
okay,
Saturday.
Yes.
So
the inflatable ones, right?
Yes.
Yes,
So we saw each other, and I was like, oh, there she is. And I'm like, wait, I got to text someone. I'm like, oh shit, I'm at mile 19. That's when I said, hey guys, I'm right around the corner. And then next thing you know, you guys are there. And I was literally dazed and confused. I had no idea what was going on. That was almost like, I was like, I hope I remember my line. It's the simplest one.
You have one job.
Yes. And that's why when you see me doing this, I'm like, when is my line going to come up? When is it going to come up? Oh, there it is. I just felt like running. And I just went.
So let's be honest. Like, there was text messages, how's the skit coming out? And everyone's like, why is there a skit? This should be really easy. And
I literally didn't look at it at all until like, what was it, Sunday? Whenever I texted it to you guys, that's when I looked at it. And I was like,
we're like, it's like 2 lines.
Minutes.
We asked 2 questions, like, why are you running? Are you running for world peace? And then we realized it's 7 lines. And we're like, it's 7 lines? How are we going to remember? Like 4 for me, 3 for you, or whatever. And within 30 minutes of you arriving, I was like, we're not ready. And so we grabbed one of the pieces of cardboard that had all like, don't trust a fart, or don't fear the code brown, whatever. And we found one that had nothing on the other side. So we took that text with the lines and we had someone write it out really neatly. His name was Ian.
Card.
Ian was a rock star. And then we even practiced, right? As you're getting closer, we practiced these lines, and we're like, Erica, what? I don't even remember what the lines are now. It was like, why are you running? Are you running for world peace?
Are you running for women's rights? Or the animals?
So we were all unprepared, is what you're telling me. And we just did it perfectly.
We made it work, my friend.
Oh.
Thank you. I laughed.
The only thing that went wrong is we had 2 microphones, and we had the recorder set up. Somehow one of the track knobs must have gotten lowered, because it was fine all the way up to that point. But then from that point after, for all our recordings, one microphone was much lower than the other. And so it's probably good my microphone was down, because I'm loud. If you guys don't know, I'm loud. So I'm like, why are you running? But instead it sounds like, why are you running? And Erica was really loud, which was a little like different. It's usually the other way around. So that was the only flaw. But I didn't
even notice that. It worked out perfectly.
It did.
And then when you did the slow-mo and I did the eagle spread, I was like, that was beautiful.
with the
that
music.
Was perfect. Yeah. Everyone was like, I love that last part too.
Yes. And Jess in the background, like, yeah.
Kudos to the admin for doing that video. It was great.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jess.
That you high-fived one person. That must have been that was Pterodactyl, probably, maybe Lindsay. One of them.
Somebody was over there and they loved it. It was great. Okay. So a little behind the scenes here. We had a friend, Janine, who I saw coming right before we saw you. And she had stopped and was giving hugs. And I'm like, that was the one thing Janine wanted from me. She wanted a water and a hug. And I'm like, Janine, come on, let's go. And I'm like waiting. And then I see you and I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this skip. But Janine wants a hug. And so she took her time over there. We were talking to you. Janine like went around you, hugged Tara. And then I like caught her as you ran away. I was like, Janine. So I got to do your skit and I got to give Janine a hug. And that was all I needed to do. I was like, my job is done.
Completely. You did.
This was the most perfect weekend. Everything worked out exactly how it's supposed to. It's amazing. Yeah.
let's check out this video we've been talking about a couple times. Let's play this right now. For anyone who hasn't seen this, anyone living under a rock, our little skit with the bearded runner, Forrest Gump. Oh my God, it's Forrest Gump!
Forrest Gump!
Forrest Gump! Oh my God! Sir, why are you running?
Are you doing this for world peace?
Are you doing this for the homeless?
Are you running for women's rights?
Or the environment?
Or for the animals?
Why are you doing this?
I just felt like running.
He just felt like running.
Yeah.
He just felt like running. And there's Jess. Yes. The high five. The eagle. That was great. That was so great, Erica.
Man.
Erica, I want to say I'm glad.
Freaking loud.
Yeah, Erica, I want to say I'm so happy you didn't say anything after he goes, I just felt like running. So you didn't talk over me. I'm like, he just felt like running. He just felt like running. And then it worked great. It was funny when I was playing with the slow-mo. I did the slow-mo like right after you said that, Dan. And it was my voice like, he just felt like running.
I gotta give you extra credit, Dan, because you turned around and came back and kept talking to us after you ran away.
That was the plan.
Wait,
I know.
I did?
Yeah, you came back.
Oh,
So-
I did.
So that's just adding extra mileage to your 26.2.
He blacked
John.
out after
Yeah.
blacked out after the skit.
He really
Oh, yeah, because I took the selfie. That's what it was. 'Cause I took the selfie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You took a great selfie
dedication
too, by the
is
way.
off the charts.
Yeah, I'm the selfie king.
Honestly, between the two of you, I don't think anybody out there, maybe with the exception of Yuki, I don't think anybody else had more fun. You guys were living it up,
Yeah.
like taking pictures and videos. I was like glued to your social media all weekend long, and just like I was like, oh my God, look at they're running through Boston College. They're giving high fives. Like I was just so excited for all of you guys, and you know how to do Boston, right? There's no way around it.
You guys are not going to be able to see this, but you can hear it. So here was the minute conversation after when Dan turned around and told us how he felt. Dan, how's your day going, man?
Oh, it's just going.
Who's your friend? Hi, Jess. Welcome to the pod.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Jess, what has it been like running with this man the entire time?
I've lost track of how many times people have said "Run, Forrest, run."
Oh man, if you had like $1 or a nickel every time that happened, how's your day been?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Did you give the outfit like a? Nah, you're fine. You're a legit runner. Look at that thing. Perfect. Perfect to the T. Everything. What about?
Little bit. I bet.
How many times have you stopped for pictures?
Quite a few. Quite a few.
But it's fun. This is worth it. This is worth it. I think you got to take this on like a world marathon tour. Abbott World Majors dressed as Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Come on, Abbott. Come on, guy. I'm here. Let's go.
Let's do it.
7 marathons in 7 days. Let's do it.
The greatest race, Forrest Gump style. I love it. All right, man. Have a great day. Let's go! Yeah!
I personally would love to see Forrest Gump running the 7 continents in 7 days.
At David
Oh,
Kelly,
God.
Great World Race. What's up? Reach out to
Throw 'em a
Dan,
bone, yo.
the Forrest Gump, the
Yeah.
bearded runner.
Right
You would,
I'm
you
right
would
here.
you would have to, you know what? You would have to do 1 mile in those shoes for every one of those races. At
Okay.
least one.
Yeah.
And maybe if you take
Do
this
it for
on
the
a tour,
picture
like,
and then change.
yeah, for the photo.
You know what? Those shoes are great when you go through the water station because they're leather uppers, so nothing gets in. So my feet were
Nice.
just not. That was the best part.
That's a
It's
secret.
nothing got
Like,
in.
don't tell anybody. You're gonna have the advantage next time.
Eric, can you cut that out, please? But no, they're not bad shoes. They're just not meant for marathons.
That's fair.
But they're
Maybe a
not bad
5K
shoes.
or a 10K. Will we see Forrest at the remainder of the BAA races this year?
Oh, that would be great. You've
Possibly.
already
It
done the
depends.
5K, but
Yeah.
Ah, true.
If anything, maybe at the half, but the stars need to line up. So there's a possibility.
all right. Well, we'll
If
talk
not
more
next year.
about it and what's
Yeah.
happened for you since the race. But we need to get into Jess's race too. So, Jess, tell us about your marathon Monday. What was the wake up call like? Did you meet your friends? Did you get on the bus? Were you running behind? Were there any hiccups along the way, or was it perfect?
The wake up was perfect. I woke up at 5. I'm no Yuki Chorn and putting on my like glitter and like my sparkles
There's
and
glitter
costume.
everywhere. That's what
I
you
know,
said.
but I had to have I used a lot of glitter. I didn't, maybe not as much as you, maybe next year I'll go crazy and just dip myself in glitter. But that's one thing I wanted to do, is just like get the glitter going more and more. And then I met up with my friend Corinne, and, you know, I feel like we waited in line for the shuttles a lot longer this year, and we were not in Athletes Village as long this year. We, you know, it was, you know, it was a nice ride and just a lot of nervous energy, but for the most part, I felt really good. And the 2 goals that I wanted to do were to run up those fucking hills and not walk them, because last year that destroyed me.
Well,
Like, I
last
know,
year you had the heat disadvantage. That was
yeah,
not in
like 10
anybody's
degrees
favor.
hotter, but also I know I went out way too fast last year. And so this year I was like, I really need to just pace myself the first few miles and then get up those hills and then drop the hammer after the hills, you know. But yeah, I felt really good. You know, I slept really well. It felt like it was going to be a great day as soon as I got up. Everything just was kind of clicking. I just had this, like, I was just a bundle of like excitement. I wasn't really nervous because I've done this before. So but the difference is that I got to run with Corinne this year, my friend. And last
Was she
year,
near you when you came by us at 19.2?
yeah. So she's the one. So I was like, let's go over here, because I grabbed that soda out of your hand.
I wish I would have known. I could have had something for her too.
It's okay. We were like pretty much sharing everything. Like, so when we, you know, like we were in different corrals, but last year we got split up, and so we ran by ourselves, and we really didn't meet up until like dinner. We didn't see each other even at the finish. So this year we're like, we're gonna stick together no matter what corral we're in. So she was in corral 2 and I was in 5, and I was like, just come to 5, you know, hang with me. And that's what we pretty much did from the moment we started until like around, I'd say, mile 24. Then like she had to stop for a little bit, and then we met up at the finish. But the entire race, we were kind of like checking in on each other. We were making sure that we were okay, you know, because it was really hot. Anytime she grabbed a bottle of water from a random stranger, you know, she passed it off to me, asked me if I wanted water. Like when I took the soda out of your hand, I'm like, do you want some Diet Coke? And but the coolest thing is that both of our husbands saw us at mile 18. And I know Aaron wanted to try. He was trying to get to you guys. He did try.
He couldn't cross the street. Now he could have if he wanted to take a chance at getting arrested, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but we would have made it happen. But
he was at mile 18. So you know, but like going back, like around mile 4, I felt like I was like, oh man, like it is really hot. Like I felt sweat dripping down my face. I was like, I really need to just pull it back and just stay as hydrated as I can, even though I was feeling good. But then as soon as we saw our husbands at mile 18, like Aaron's like, Jess, he started screaming. I went in for a hug and a kiss, and then we were off again. And at that time I was like, it's making really good pace. And I was like, I could at least go like I was like on pace to go 5 minutes faster than last year. So I was like, when I saw you guys, I just gave a quick wave, and I was like, I know if I stop, I'm not going to want to keep going, and I want to get up these hills. So that was like my goal, and to have fun too. So
that was actually a common theme with a few of the runners who ran last year too. You and Allie G both, and I feel like one or two others, where they stopped last year, but this year they flew by. So either we're not cool to them anymore,
Oh
or
no,
I
you
was
guys are
like,
way
they're
cool.
having a great freaking day.
I
and they're
never want to
crushing
be
it.
the one standing in somebody's way for having a good day. I will take a wave and a yell or anything. Like
High
that's
fives.
enough acknowledgement for me. I don't need you to stop, because if you miss your goal by those like 10 seconds that you stopped, I'm going to be mad at myself for being
No,
there. I'll be like,
I
next
felt
time
bad.
I'm turtling.
I turned I
going
turned
away.
to Corinne and I said, I feel bad. I just took the soda out of her hand and didn't say thank you. Because I know you guys really prepared for everybody. You got the
It was
candies, you got the
amazing though,
drinks.
because sometimes getting
That's
that
what we're here
video of
for.
just a handoff of someone flying by is just as great as someone stopping and being like, best day ever. You know, it's great to have a little bit of the mix. So we
Yes.
knew you were having a great day from the way you ran by us with that smile. We were like, she's crushing it.
It was hard, but I was having a great time, and just the energy just from Wellesley College. I was, you know what, I was like so tempted. Like someone asked me, they're like, did you get a kiss? And I was like, no, I just blow kisses, but I don't know. Next year.
Go for it. Go for the kiss.
Did you see that Yuki got a kiss in all her marathons? It was her
Yes!
first ever kiss, and she played the
Yes.
song.
Wow.
Still like
Kiss the
18
girl,
or
and
something.
I like it.
Like 20, and like she never got a kiss. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Yeah.
But then
never
just
too late
like,
to start.
right. And then, and like I think it was like, I was like at the halfway and I saw Laura Green and I said, Laura! And like, she just like waved and said something like, hi, random stranger, or
Yeah,
I was
could
on the
hear her
lookout for
saying
her,
that.
and I
yeah, I
couldn't
was
find
looking
her.
out. It
Did
was
you
like,
see? You saw Erin Azar though, right?
no, I
They
was
were
looking out for her
eventually
too.
They were together.
Eventually. I think Laura
Okay.
was at a different point earlier in the
Herm
race.
was maybe around them too. Herm was with Kelly Roberts.
I
for a
think
while.
Herm was
he's
down
at 24.
Brookline.
He's at 24.
Yeah, he was like in
Yeah.
Brookline or something.
Well, I think Herm was at the beginning with Kelly and then went to Brookline because you saw Herm. We'll get to that for you, Forrest. But
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
I want to. In fact, you were in his reel today, his marathon weekend vlog recap. But Jess, I don't have the video ready of my video to show you running by us at mile 19.2.
See, that was a clean handoff.
But
mine with Allie
I
G
did
was
not
a little
drop
less
it.
clean, but that was beautiful.
I'll find the video and I'll post it on our page around sometime when this drops. However, I do have these videos, Jess. I have this one of you looking freaking amazing. And then here's where you make your turns.
You guys, I'm getting goosebumps from this.
Guys, a 10-minute PR.
10-minute PR, baby!
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Jess.
It was like,
Congratulations.
I think making that left, I was like, I need to just go, 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 go. I was like in the zone, and I looked down at my watch. I was like, holy shit. This is like, I feel so good right now. I dropped the hammer and I got my ass to the finish. And when I looked down, it was like 10 minutes faster than last year. I was like, damn.
Amazing.
It felt so good. But
So, Jess,
yeah,
you,
it was a really
you
great
already
day.
qualified for Boston next year. Am I right? Because you did freaking fantastic at whatever your previous one was. I was following along with you.
The one I ran in November was Richmond. That's the one I ran with my two best friends. I ran with Corinne and Lizzie, and we all qualified. So that's why we were like, girls trip 2026.
Amazing. Yeah, that's going to be so fun.
But yeah, I am above 40, so I got, the 335.
I can't wait to get older for that very reason, where it's going to buy me some extra time.
I want to be like Mike Beeman now.
You gotta do
Freaking
the
48
Cornish
Bostons. He got like a little plaque. Did you see that for running like 1,000 miles in Boston? It's so
I
incredible.
found out that you only have to run, I think it's like 39 Bostons in order to get that, but his 48 has him at like 12:57, I think it was. I watched
2
that.
down.
Keep going. Hell yeah.
Keep going. Yeah.
So actually, let's talk about Mike Beeman for a second, because I told you earlier I don't have TikTok. Tara Pterodactyl runs our TikTok. Apparently, he's been blowing up on TikTok. So, what they don't know, Ali G had no clue. Mike Beeman was on like episodes 21 and 22 of this podcast. He was a two-parter. We talked to him for so long. We did a whole episode on Boston, and then a second episode about him doing all the Make-A-Wish runs through the New Hampshire.
He ran
and
like
doing
the
all these
entire state of New Hampshire.
Yeah, twice for Make-A-Wish, and done all these other things and talked about the Make-A-Wish kids that he met throughout his time and his years and everything. Nobody knew we had Mike Beeman on before, and they didn't even know about the Beeman points, right, Erica?
That was fun. You guys are gonna have to tune into Ali G's show to learn about the Beeman score.
So he does the Beeman score, and he takes temperature, humidity, and dew point. And Ali G's like, he's so amazing. Do you think we can get him on our podcast? I go, Ali, I get random voice messages from Mike Beeman, and he'll just go 7 miles, Beeman score 238. Because it's temperature, humidity, and dew point added up.
The higher the number, the worse your run is going to be, just based on pure sweaty grossness. But if it's over 200, it starts to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. So this guy blew up. I didn't even know it, but I was like, hey, we had him on like 3 years ago. It was pretty epic. It was pretty freaking awesome.
So, Eric, you want to hear the full circle moment with Michael Beeman and Michael Scott?
I learned it this weekend. Mike Beeman was Mike Scott's like gym teacher or science teacher.
High school
economics.
Teacher.
Yeah. Holy shit. At an academy.
Wow.
He's a New Hampshire guy originally. He lives down in Georgia or South Carolina.
Both of them are Mike Scott and Mike Beeman.
Yeah, of course they both are. New Hampshire's the best. Sorry for anyone not living in New Hampshire. One other thing, Jess, let's talk about this. The medal. The medal is amazing. It is beautiful. And you did one of these reels. I'm not even going to play the audio on it, but where you have last year's medal.
God, last year's was so shitty compared to this year.
Someone said it's made from recycled garbage.
Last year's.
Yeah, last year. This year's Chef's Kiss of Butte. And I really hope that they stick with it. Like I was like, it's before beautiful. I made that, I was just sitting there and comparing. I was like this does not even belong.
That's a medal. That's like the Iron Man medal is very popular and it's big and thick and heavy. And you look at the medal from last year, it kind of looks like listen, it's smaller than the palm of your hand. It looks like a medal you might get at a
the BA 5K.
Yeah,
5K, exactly.
Literally.
This year it was spare no expense.
No.
For sure.
It's heavy.
It's nice hardware.
Last year was the first year Bank of America came on board, right? It
Yeah.
used to be John Hancock.
I think so.
So I'm wondering if Bank of America was like, no, guys, we got to do better. Now, notice last year's actually says Bank of America. This year's, you just got the symbol, not even the colors. I love that. What a nice touch.
Just the little lines underneath the unicorn, like that,
that
represents.
I have a friend who said that the paint on the medal from last year was chipping. Like when they got home. It's total garbage.
We know who Bank of America is. You don't need to tell us again and again and again. Just give us a little logo and that's it. That's all.
That's all you need. And you know what?
Eric always says, chef's kiss.
The one thing I noticed, so Bank of America has been sponsoring the Chicago Marathon forever, basically.
Yeah.
Their medals don't look anything like that. Or like it's just natural, but just the way they put like Bank of America right at the bottom of the Boston medal. I'm like, that's just
they probably had some intern come up with that idea. They
fired.
Yeah.
You're fired.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
You're fired.
Get out of here.
It's a beautiful medal, and that just makes me think they're gonna go just as big for Chicago.
It'd be nice. I mean, New York City medal is always gorgeous. Always. And so they're like, Bank of America's like, we got to up our game.
Yeah. You know what? I actually really hate last year's now looking at it. It's like a NASCAR medal, a big sponsor name on it. Like, no, this isn't, put it on the back or something, maybe on the ribbon.
They listened to the feedback and actually
They
made
did. Last year, they were getting a lot of shit when the design came out. Everyone's just coming after them. And then this year, I had another friend who's like, you know what? I'm going to try to qualify because who knows what next year's medal is going to look like. I was like, well, it can't be any worse than last year's.
Yeah. I mean, they're on a roll now. It would be very, very disheartening to see it go back to what it was.
It's a beautiful medal. That is a world major medal.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
what it is.
And it even says on the back, celebrating the 250th anniversary of Patriots Day, which is really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool too.
So that's the cool part about it,
So you guys got an anniversary year without it being an actual anniversary year.
Yeah.
Next year, you're going to get another anniversary year.
Well, congratulations, Jess. 10-minute PR. You crushed it. You looked amazing.
Thank you.
You did great.
All right. Next year, if you guys do, I know Jess is already in, but Dan, do you have any plans to run Boston again?
I would love to. I want to do London next year. That's the goal. But if I can do Boston, London back to back, that'll be awesome.
Well, whatever races you guys have lined up, I just challenge you to have more fun. Just try to top what you did this year.
It's going to be hard for me. It's going to be hard for me to top
You can do it. We'll just pick another scene from Forrest Gump.
You could do the one scene where he's in that poncho and he's like, I'm pretty tired.
So I wanted to do that at the end of the race and just stop there. But then I'm like, I don't want to be that dick to ruin everyone else's moment and just turn around and walk. So I'm like, we're going to just go right through and we're going to go.
Yeah, you did tell me your plan. I was like, that's cool.
It's risky.
I get it.
It's risky.
But I was like, no, I can't.
would have done it maybe after you finish. Well, Monday morning quarterback here.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. Maybe you cross the finish line and you go another 10 feet and you're like, I think I'm going to go home now. And then turn around or something. But I'm glad. Let's talk about your finish. After you came across the mile 19.2 cheer section, what was the rest of your race like? Like up the hills, up Heartbreak Hill, and then you're right on Hereford, you're left on Boylston. Like that must have been epic. That crowd and all those people. Tell us about the end of your day.
Well, first I'm going to go to mile 22, the Boston Bulldogs cheer station. I had to see every single one of my Bulldogs, and that was incredible. I think I took 20 selfies, one with each person. I just had to.
Oh,
they're the ones that got me. It's them that, if it weren't for the Bulldogs, I wouldn't be running any of these races. And then I saw a few friends across going past Chestnut Hill. I saw Herms, which was fun. And then, it was epic going up right on Hereford, left onto Boylston, because actually Mike, his wife, and a few friends were at the Capitol Grill, and they saw me and they cheered. They did this perfect thing, and I took a photo of them, and they took a video of me getting ready, and it was just this perfect moment I was like, oh, this is amazing. I started crying actually, and I never usually do. And then go down Boylston, and I'm just like getting ready. My tears are coming. I'm getting chills and everything, and I'm with Jess, and then we go past the finish line, and I said, you ready to do it? And we grabbed each other's hands and we did the perfect arm raise, and I just started bawling, crying, crossing the finish line, and I'm like, we fucking did it again. But it was incredible. And then actually a girl on TikTok caught me being Forrest Gump, and she got the moment that we did this whole entire raise and just got me going across the whole entire finish line.
Oh.
So I made it onto TikTok.
You're a star, my friend.
You made it. You made it everywhere.
Full circle.
Let's talk about it. Like, you didn't do a lot of this. Like, it just started like populating everywhere. Runner's World, TikTok, everything. Everyone's sharing your posts. We did our posts. I was like, hey, I just finished it. When do you want to post? You're like, let's do it now while it's hot.
Yeah.
What has the last couple of days been like for you?
Awesome. Every time, I'm like, yeah, I just finished the marathon, and I was like, yeah, I just vibed out. I was having fun, and this is why. They're like, oh my God, my mom saw you. I got to tell her I met you. Or that was you. It's like, yeah, I saw Banana Suit Guy. Then I saw Forrest Gump. I'm like, oh, that was me. And they were like, no shit, that was you. Did you really run on the court? You know, how were the feet? You know, how were you in the Cortez? I'm like, they're fine. They're fine. But actually, before we get to the blowing up part of everything, I was sitting at the public gardening waiting for friends on a bench like Forrest Gump would.
Yeah.
And I was just there, and these three guys came along, and they're with an accent like, "Hey, Forrest Gump is very popular in my country." I'm like, "Oh, awesome!" And I'm like, "Well, where are you from?" They're like, "Oh, Kazakhstan." So the first thing that pops in my head, I'm like, "Hello, my name is Borat." And I start laughing. They look at me, they laugh. I'm like, I hope that wasn't mean, but they took a photo and they shared it, and then Matt Choi walked by. He's like, "Holy shit, it's Forrest Gump." And then I was like, "Yeah, I got the Cortez." And like,
Matt Choi.
I was like, "Holy shit!" And they're like, "You want to get interviewed?" I'm like, "Let's do it." So Matt Choi interviewed me, that was a big highlight post Boston. But I wasn't expecting the Runner's World thing. I didn't find out until Ben Crosby actually texted me. He was like, "You bougie bitch, you made it onto Runner's World magazine." I'm like, no shit. I have no idea. People thought I knew.
We were talking a little bit about this, how I had sent it to Eric, but it didn't even occur to me to send it to Dan because I assumed he had already seen it.
No,
and he just kind of like was like, "Oh, I didn't know." And then he texted us. I was like, "Oh, I could have told you about this like 2 hours ago."
Yeah.
Like, whoops, my bad.
Well, we get a text from Dan in the group chat, and it goes, "Guys, oh my god!" And then he sends the picture populates like a minute later when he sends it. It's like, "Did you just learn about this?" He goes, "Yeah, Ben showed me," and I'm like, "Dude, this is like 7 hours ago." How did you not know?
Well, they didn't ask me. They just said follow this guy and look him up and do your thing. And they wrote this amazing article about me, this positive, like it was perfect. I'm like, this is great. I love it. Yeah, no.
It was pretty great. It was
You're famous, my friend.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Abby, the writer, she did a fantastic job. So Abby, thank you.
Abby, if you want behind the scenes, just listen to episode whatever you were on last.
Or Abby, come on the pod, Abby. Let's talk to you too. We'll talk about writing for Runner's World.
Yeah.
We'll have everybody on here. But Dan, that was so cool. Jess, you're going to have to do something to top it next year.
I got a year to think about it, so
just more glitter, Jess. More glitter.
Dan, I hope you continue this, man. I hope you bring it to Chicago and New York and London, Berlin, Tokyo, Antarctica, or at least for the Worlds. I would love to see you continue. I understand you don't want to run in the shoes for every one of the races. Maybe just do 1 mile or some photos and find a bench after. Sit down, take a photo with a box of chocolates.
Oh, yeah.
That's a celebration food. That's his post-run meal. Is a box of chocolates.
Mike actually was like, "Dude, you should run with a box of chocolates." For the whole entire
That
thing.
would have made a huge fucking mess, dude.
Lynn Chocolates, if you're out there, sponsor him, and he'll run with a box of chocolates handing it out.
But instead, have your gels inside so I can just take my gels as I go and run. But I'm like, that's going to be heavy as shit, just carrying it the whole time. It's like, I ran with my phone, and that was annoying. Imagine a box of chocolates with all my gels. I was like, that's a good idea. But I couldn't do that because he didn't have the beard when he had his chocolates. I have the beard, so I can't do.
It's gonna get all up in there.
Yeah, so I can't
work out.
Yeah, and I can't be that Forrest Gump. I can only be this Forrest Gump. And there is another guy by the Instagram, I think, called Get Gumped. So he's beardless Forrest Gump. I'm the bearded Forrest Gump. So there are 2 of us, and I don't want our paths to cross. So he can keep his. I'm going to keep mine.
I could picture the 2 of you meeting, and you do the Spider-Man point thing, like, oh, there he is. Oh. That would crack up.
But yeah, I'm going to keep it going. I'll keep it going.
I love it. I love that. I'm so excited for it. But no, I love that you kept it a surprise too for the Boston Marathon, and everyone kind of found out when it happened. That was the right way to do it.
Yeah. It wanted to be a nice big surprise.
Well,
you can always trust us that we will keep your secret.
Oh, yes.
Well,
You passed the test.
let's talk about post-race celebrations. Let's go with you, Jess. Your husband's in town. You got some friends. What did you do after the race to celebrate?
So after the race, I limped back to the hotel because I mean, it wasn't a far walk, but I mean, still that the wind was like, it was like super windy and it was really cold at the end. But got, cleaned up and then we went to the hotel bar for a drink and um we actually met this guy who also ran. His name's Mike, and we actually got to talk to him for like an hour, a little bit over an hour, but this was his 34th Boston. He is on Instagram. I can't think of the top of my head, but he runs Boston every year. And I said, well, when's your next race? He's like, next Boston. So
Is that all he runs is Boston?
that's
Well,
all he runs is Boston. I think he said he's from the north end. He's like, I don't know my way around Boston, but he did say he is, in Mass. So,
Local.
yeah, local, but him and his partner come every year, and every year he says it's going to be my last race, I promise, and then every year he's coming back. So it was really nice getting to meet him. Shared a beer and then met up with my friend Corinne and her husband, got some tacos, got some drinks, and just kind of chilled. And then the next day we had a late checkout, late flight, so we just walked around like I did a lot of rolling and a lot of rubbing down the legs, but just one more stroll around the city before we left. But yeah, it was like I couldn't have asked for a better weekend, honestly. It was perfect,
I'm so happy that Boston delivered for you guys,
especially
weather-wise, because everybody knows the New England weather is a crapshoot. You never know what you're gonna get.
Never
just
know.
like a box of chocolates.
Nice
And
one.
it actually pulled through, and I was so happy that it was actually a nice running day. It was a perfect spring day.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. It was better than last year. It was like April 25th. Not too hot, not too cold. Wear a light jacket.
Only need a light jacket.
All you need is a light jacket.
That's adorable.
It's a great freaking day. Oh my God, what an experience. I hope you guys saw the reel we put up about all the runners coming by to the Pitbull song. It was a ton of fun. You guys made our day, whether you ran by flying like Dale Earnhardt at mile 19.2 and just room, or you stopped and said hi. And I'm not just talking to Jess and Dan. I'm talking about everyone. Our cheer party was amazing. We're growing something cool there. I'm going to be doing it by myself next year because, knock on wood, my kick-ass rock star of a co-host will be running in the Boston Marathon along with the two of you. So I'm excited for that. But we're not off the hook because the two of you have not been on the podcast yet this year. And if you've been listening, and I know you have, I changed up my question. Last year was the Code Brown Commandments. This year, the On the Runs pasta dinner. And I want to know, who are you going to take as your plus one? Anyone in the world, alive or dead, to our On the Runs pasta dinner? Let's go with you, Jess.
Man, I don't know.
One person, too. It's tough.
One person?
Dead or alive, anyone in the world.
Let's see, pasta dinner.
Galaxy.
Huh?
Anyone in the galaxy.
The galaxy. He wants one of you to say Gamora so he can get his mix.
If Dan knows who he's going to take, he can answer first. I don't know yet.
Dan better be taking Tom Hanks.
Oh, man. And it can be anybody.
Anybody, but only one.
Oh,
should you broaden your category to be alive or dead, fictional or real? Like, are we bringing in the fictional world?
Yeah,
to this too?
Gamora's welcome. Gamora is welcome.
Only, yeah.
You know who Gamora is, right? The
Wait,
Avengers,
yes.
not the Avengers.
Yes.
Guardians of the
She's
Galaxy.
She's an Avenger.
No,
though,
Guardians.
isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if it's a fictional character. Jeez,
I know, it just makes it harder. It's just
it really
awesome.
does. So this would be the night before a race.
No, just a
we're
party.
just having a party.
It's a party.
Pasta dinner.
Pasta dinner, party, get together.
Like we have Lewis Hamilton coming.
Jesus is coming.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What did I say? I'm bringing my little brother who passed away. I'm gonna bring my brother so he can see what crazy shit I'm up to. Who did you bring, Eric?
I haven't announced yet.
You never picked?
Well,
now
he's got to announce if you know.
I have all year.
Yeah, he's got time. But it literally,
it's my
anybody.
podcast. It's my question.
All right, I'm gonna bring Kipchoge.
Yeah.
Nobody picked him yet.
I'm gonna pick him.
I'm sitting at your table.
Is he gonna win London? This is 2 days after, so like if you say it now, you can.
No, I still want him to come to spaghetti dinner. I want him to come to pasta night. I feel like his presence is so calming, especially when you need like a pick me up. Like, say something positive to me, Kipchoge, and then he just all this positivity and just like just making you feel good vibes. Yes, I want that more as I'm stuffing my face with pasta.
This
I'm gonna bring
dinner is gonna help him win London. He's gonna win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If he wins, and you guys heard it here, we're recording on Friday the 25th. So if he wins, it's because of this. Now, did you see, by the way, Letty got to interview him? Go check out Letty's story.
Cool people.
Go check out her story.
I will check it out.
That's a great pick there.
All right, so that's who I'm bringing.
All right. I love it. I'm sorry, Aaron, but, it's Kipchoge.
He's the backup. Aaron can come anyways. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I know who I would bring. I would bring my grandma, my babci. Yeah, I would bring her. Yeah, it's been. Yeah, I know she would be a kick-ass person to be having pasta dinner with all of us.
Love that. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Dan, I love that. Great choice. Great choice. Can't wait to have her.
We can't let you off the hook just yet, Dan. We never asked you how you celebrated post race, so you got to fill us in.
I guess you're right. We kind of talked about like sitting on the bench and
come on.
Yeah.
And my friend Rachel and her family came by with a bunch of pizza, so I chowed down on a bunch of pizza and then got home and had some homemade pierogies that my mom gave me when I visited back home a couple months ago or weeks ago. Yeah, so I had pierogies, some potato
home
and
is
cheese.
New Jersey, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it northern, like closer to New York or closer to like Philly?
Closer to New York Central. So I grew up in Rahway, so I was about 20 minutes from Staten Island. So, yeah. I live in the armpit, literally the armpit of New Jersey.
The armpit of America.
Which makes it great when I had to run New York. My dad just drove me right to the Athletes Village, and I was there in 25 minutes, and that was it. And I'm there.
Damn.
Nice. So what's the plan going forward, Jess? I know you're running another world major, maybe two. You don't know about New York yet, but you are running Chicago.
Yeah, so I'll be running Chicago with my two girls. So we do a lot of girls trips. But then 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna be running a 14-hour ultra.
Yes.
It's for fun. So it's gonna be I think it's gonna be in Salisbury, so kind of like Eastern Shore area across the Bay Bridge. But yeah, like we're gonna do that and then nothing until Chicago. So I'm pretty excited about yeah. And then next year, Erica and I, we got a plan to do an ultra together.
I have a wide open schedule for 2026. So you throw out some ideas and I'll be like, yes, we're doing
Come
it.
to Pemberton. We ran that last year.
I would love to.
I think you would like Pemberton.
So that's the 24-hour, but that you have the
a
5K to do.
5K every hour for 24 hours.
I'm
and it gets pretty loopy. come the last few hours.
I'm used to being very tired, so I will. That just sounds like so much fun, and that's how you know you're what, type A fun or type 2 fun.
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah, running for hours.
All right, Forrest, what's up next for you, buddy?
Well, the Boston Bulldogs Run for Recovery 5K, where I will see you there, May 18th.
Yeah, I got it on the calendar.
And
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. And then the Boston 10K in June. And then my first ultra, I'll be doing the Tark Fall Classic 50 miler.
Ooh,
going
big.
Yeah. So
that's your first ultra, going big.
I'm just going all in.
Yeah.
And then the Boston Half Marathon in November, and then I think Walter's 5K in December, and then rinse and repeat for next year. I don't know.
Awesome.
Yeah, but that's my schedule this year.
Well, I'll be able to see Jess in Chicago. I'll be able to see Dan at all of the rest of the BAA races and hopefully the Boston Bulldogs one. And yeah, I'm just excited to get to keep seeing you guys around. This is like what I live for.
And I love all your support ever since we've had you on, both last year, I think it was. Yeah, because Jess, you were a Boston Weeks episode last year before the Boston Marathon. And Dan, we met you like on Instagram the year before, and we brought you on as the beard was probably half the length that it is now. So thank you for all your support, both of you, big time.
Absolutely,
love everything you've done. And Dan, for thinking of us to do that little skit at mile 19.2.
Glad we could help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Jess, just for thinking of us and tagging us in cool, funny shit out there. Anything that has to do with a code brown or something. So I'll have Erica send you a bunch of Stoolie stickers whenever you go on the road and travel, and put them anywhere where other stickers are. We always say that. Don't just ruin a beautiful thing with one sticker, but if there's like 10 others, throw a Stoolie up there.
Dan, I'll send you some too. Just let me know. I should have brought them this week. We had them this weekend. Why didn't we give them out this weekend?
When you're there May 18th, bring them on May 18th.
You got it, dude. You got it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll buy more. We'll bring them. So you were too worried about other things, not the branding, but you did a great job with the business cards.
Thank you.
We got one. We got one of those.
That's right. Yeah. I'm like, you already follow us, but this is.
We gave one to Donna, the CEO of Abbott World Majors. We haven't recapped our weekend yet, but that was pretty cool. So, hey, this was awesome.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna tell you one more thing. Erica and I always send everyone off with our little key. What do you call it? Catchphrases at the end of the podcast. Do you have anything you want to say before we cut this one off?
Keep running and have fun with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Just show up.
Love it. Erica, take us home.
Thank you guys for listening. This has been an amazing Boston Weeks. I'm glad we got to do this recap episode with you guys. So you guys know we love you.
Don't fear the code brown.
And don't forget to stretch.